Hello everyone, welcome to another video on Oracle Analytics. In this video, I will show you how to create a semantic model in Oracle Analytics cloud by step by step. We will start from the physical layer, move to the logical layer, and finally prepare the presentation layer so business can easily analyze the data. So let's understand what is a semantic model. You have seen subject areas in OTBA report. So what is the advantage of the subject areas? Using subject areas, business team can easily understand what is the data. So they don't want to know what is the underlying complexity on the data. So the semantic model, in simple terms, we can say it is a subject area. So to create the subject area, we will create a connection. We will extract, we will abstract and modify and create a metadata model of the logical dimensions. So then we'll create a subject areas and business using the translation layer, business can easily connect it to the subject areas and do the analysis. So what is the, let's go through the architecture of the semantic model. So semantic model, like when we connect from a dashboard or reports or Oracle DB, it connects to the query analytical engine here. So the query analytical engine directly connected to the semantic model. So semantic model consists of three main layers. One is the physical layer, then where it will contain the tables, the schemas, files, all the details will be available in the physical layer. Then physical layer, then there will be dimension, logical layer will be created, where the normalization and all dimensional model will be available in the logical layer. And from that, the role-based presentation layer. So this presentation layer is the area where the subject areas are clearly defined. So user will see the subject areas when they do the analysis. So the main things to notice here is like when the dashboards are getting connected, it will access the semantic model using the query analytics engine. So these are all the how to create the a semantic model. To create a semantic model, like first we need to create a connection. First we need to talk about the physical layer. The physical layer, we need to create a connection, select the table and add the aliases, create a join in the physical diagram. Then the second step, then we'll create a logical layer. Logical layer, we need to create a model and add the facts to the model, the required columns. We need to add the facts and dimension tables to the model and set aggregations like sum, count, and all. So similarly, then we need to create the presentation layer. So we will rename the table. Only will keep the columns which are relevant. Maybe in a database, there are in a database table there are maybe so many irrelevant columns for the analysis. That and all will remove. So the user will see, the business user or the people who is going to connect to the semantic model will see only the valid and useful columns. So so let's go to the instance and see how we are creating a, semantic model from scratch. So log into the Oracle Analytics. So we'll go to first we need to create, or we'll go to this navigator, click the semantic models and click create a semantic model. So we'll give the name as semantic model sample, create. So we have to start with an empty model. If we is already having an RPD, then we can import that, and we can also import content from an analytics query engine to create a semantic model. Also, if we are using a Git repository, we can we can manage it through the Git repository. In this example, I am showing to create a semantic model from an empty model. So start from an empty model. Now, please create a connection. So I'm connecting to our autonomous data warehouse to the connection. And so I am connecting to the Oracle autonomous data warehouse using a wallet. So wallet I'm already having. So so now my connection is done. Now my connection is done. So we'll start creating our physical layer. So to create our physical layer, we need to drag our tables first. So my tables are existing in a schema called sh here. So I will drag the channels, customers, countries, promotions, sales, and times. These tables I will drag to the tables panel here. So if you expand the sh, you can see all these tables available. So the next step, you need to create a table alias for all these tables. So when we are there are two types of tables here. One is fact table and one is dimension table. Fact table will call for the tables which is having the numeric values like measures, and we'll call it as fact table. So create our fact table. So I will give the name fact dot sales. Okay, so I created the fact table. So then now create the aliases for our other attributes table. So I will give the name as dim one dot elements, countries also same, countries. To save time, I will just create all this and we'll start from the next joining session. So we created all the attributes table. We have six attribute tables and one fact table. So you have to create all these aliases. So now select all this, show the physical diagrams, select the tables only to create the joins. Now you need to create the joins here. So I select the timetable will be the first one. Then I will connect with the fact table. We can give the condition here. So time ID is the column which we will join. Then customer, custody. So the join between these fact tables and these customers, and customers and the country. The customer belongs to which country? So country ID I will select in the join for this one. And for the sales table, so joining with the product, prod ID, then joining with the channel ID with fact table and the dimension tables, then with the promotion table with the promo ID. So we have done with our physical layer. So we selected our tables. If you see, we selected our tables and created the aliases for all the tables which is selected, and we created the connections. We created the joins. So from the physical diagram, you can see that. Now we'll move to the next step, which is the logical layer. So logical layer, what first? First, what we need to create the business model. So I'll give the name as BF, and you can select our fact tables and so now drag our dimension and fact tables to the panels. So now we'll drag our 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 tables to here. So I drag my dimension channels, countries, and all the 6 dimension tables I drag to the dimension panel and fact table to the sales table to the fact panel. So, so if you see now, we don't want these columns like in the sales table. Only we need the columns which is quantity sold and amount sold. So other columns and all we will remove, and the aggregation. This aggregation we have to give the like which aggregation we need to give. So here we will give the sum. So then only these particular columns will come as a numeric in our subject areas. So I saved these columns. So we created the business model. Then in the business model, then we drag all our dimensions table and fact table. So fact table, we created the aggregations for the columns which we want. So now our second part, that is the present logical layer is done. We have done with the physical layer. We have done with the logical layer. Now we are coming to our last step, that is the presentation layer. So the presentation layer, we need to create. We can create our subject area. Sales SBM. Saying we can add our tables to here. Promotions times factors. So now one thing should be in your mind, that we are now creating the presentation area. So this is the area where the users will see the data. So we need to give the appropriate names for the table. So I will start with the channels. I will remove that dim and all dimensions, prefixes and all, and I will only keep the columns which I need. So channel, I need only, I will delete everything. I will just add the columns from here which I want. So channel ID and channel description. So I will give the name. I will give the name as channel. So channel, I rename the channel. Then countries, I will remove the prefix. Columns tab, I will remove all the columns, and then I will add the columns which I need. Country ID and country name. Then and the countries, customers, customer ID, customer first name, customer last name, customer gender. That's it. These are the columns I am adding, and then I remove the prefix. Similarly for products, product ID, product name, category, status. So we are done with the products. Now we have the promotions. Promo ID and promo name. Rename the table. Promotions also done. So now we have the times table. This is our last table. So rename the prefix. Columns, only we will keep the columns which we want. We delete all the existing columns. We'll keep only the transaction date. Now we have our fact table. So fact table, we have the columns as per we want. And now we'll just remove the prefix and save our data model. So we have done with the mm, presentation. We have done with the presentation layer as well. So we can do a consistency check before we deploy. So I'm closing all my tabs. So now the last step, let's create our workbook from the subject area. So we can select our subject area which we created. So all our tables, dimension tables and fact tables will be visible over here for us to create the dashboard. So let's say I take here, and then I take the sales, quantity sort, pick visualizations, and just select the dashboard. So we have one dashboard already. Same. So that's all about the semantic model. So we have created the semantic model from scratch by creating a physical layer, presentation, logical layer, and presentation layer, and we deployed the semantic model. and from that we created a simple dashboard. So thanks for watching, and if you like the video, please subscribe, and if you want me to take some specific topics, please comment. Thank you.